Anti-graft officials in South Korea called off an attempt to detain impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol, fearing violent clashes with thousands of Yoon supporters who had gathered outside his residence. Investigators into last month's brief martial law decree were denied entry into the residence by the crowd, which included presidential security staff, preventing the enforcement of an arrest warrant which expires on Monday. CNA's Yoon Suk tells us more.
A tense standoff outside the presidential residence early on Friday morning as South Korea's anti-corruption agency tried to execute the arrest warrant for President Yoon Suk Yeol. More than 2,000 police officers were deployed to the area, which was crowded with President Yoon's supporters. There were his usual conservative, elderly supporters and also many young people who said they had to come and stop the investigators from carrying out what they said was an illegal act.
모든 과정이 법에 헌법에 맞게 이루어져야 되는데 헌법에 맞지도 않는 과정을 가지고 체포에 지금 현직 대통령을 체포하려는 건데 그거는 굉장히 무리가 있다고 생각하고요. 만약에 체포를 하고 싶으면은 공정한 과정과 적법한 절차에 따라서 체포를 신청해야 된다고 생각합니다.
경호처가 잘 막아줘서 너무 감사하다는 말씀을 드리고 싶고요. 네, 공수처가 아무 수사권도 없고 불법 체포 영장을 가지고 왔기 때문에 당연히 체포가 이루어져서는 안 되고요. 이것들을 많은 시민들이 아셔야 된다고 생각을 합니다.
But there were also protesters calling for President Yoon to be arrested immediately over his short-lived martial law declaration on December 3rd.
향후에 뭐 솔직히 말하면은 큰 기대를 가지고 있지 않아서 계속 이렇게 미적거리다가 잘못되진 않을까 하는 걱정이 조금 더 큰 것 같습니다.
The anti-corruption agency told reporters after withdrawing from the area that they were blocked by a human chain of about 200 people inside, including the presidential guards and soldiers, and that there were scuffles. After a standoff lasting about 6 hours, they suspended the attempt to arrest President Yoon for safety reasons. The investigators had obtained an arrest warrant for the president after he ignored summons to appear for questioning. They also had a warrant to search the presidential residence. But President Yoon's legal team says this is illegal. They cited a law that protects locations potentially linked to military secrets, such as the presidential office and residence, from being subject to a search without the consent of the person in charge. It says trying to arrest a sitting president is also illegal.
President Yoon is the sitting president of South Korea. The parliament impeached him on December 14th, but the Constitutional Court has yet to reach a decision.
The Constitutional Court has slightly less than 6 months now to decide whether to uphold the impeachment bill and remove President Yoon from office or strike it down and reinstate him. It is set to begin its first official hearing on January 14th. It's unsure what the anti-corruption agency will do next. It says it will review the situation and decide on further action. It's unclear if the agency will try to arrest President Yoon again before the arrest warrant expires after Monday. But these supporters here say if they try again, they too will be back because it is their duty to protect the president of their country. Yoon Suk, CNA, Seoul.
It began exactly a month ago. On the 3rd of December, now impeached by Parliament, President Yoon declared martial law. It was late into the night, well past 10 p.m. Mr. Yoon handed the military sweeping emergency powers to weed out what he called anti-state forces. Within hours, troops stormed the opposition-controlled parliament, but lawmakers managed to breach barricades and to vote down the declaration of martial law. This forced Mr. Yoon to lift his decree in the early hours of December the 4th. In total, the martial law lasted no more than 6 hours. But even that was enough to trigger turmoil. The same day, the opposition filed a motion to impeach the president. On the 7th of December, Mr. Yoon addressed the nation. He apologized for the domino effect of his decision, but he did not offer to resign. Later the same day, the impeachment motion was put to vote. Mr. Yoon survived that first round with lawmakers from his People's Power Party boycotting the vote. On the 8th of December, prosecutors in South Korea named him the subject of a criminal investigation. This was over allegations that he had masterminded insurrection by imposing martial law. Insurrection is one of the very few criminal charges from which a president is not immune. The next day, on the 9th of December, the Justice Ministry barred the president from leaving the country. 2 days after that, police tried to search Mr. Yoon's office, but they were prevented from doing so from entering the building. On the 12th of December, Mr. Yoon addressed the nation again. This time, he vowed to fight to the end. On the 14th of December, he was impeached in a parliamentary vote. A fast forward to this morning, a tense situation at the presidential residence, with investigators trying but failing to arrest the suspended leader.